You're welcome back to Arise 360. I'm Kachi Ofia. Now let's talk to my guest on the show today. But before we do, it's important that you know that gospel music is one section of entertainment, of the entertainment industry that people have expressed concern about, especially when it comes to the pace at which, fresh content is released, fresh original content is released. Now, with a high percentage of songs being dished out, the boom secular music gets, with new artists springing up every single day, can it be compared to that of the gospel music industry? Well, the question now is, what is it about the gospel music industry that people just shy away from? I mean, isn't it as fun and attractive? Well, some people also believe that gospel artists don't necessarily make a lot of money. Well, to speak about all of these issues, discuss the gospel music scene, speak about her brand new album, her new body of work, and how she's been able to just keep up with trends as a gospel artist for so long. Onos joins me on Arise 360 right now. Onos, obviously from our Lagos studio. Onos, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us. So let's begin with this. Gospel music, give me a brief history of when you got into it, why you got into it, what it's been like for you.
It has been, first of all, it's an amazing thing being on this show today. Gospel music for me is beyond just the music. It's for me sharing the good news about the Jesus I say I serve with the people, translating it into song and sharing it with the people. It's a beautiful thing to see lives being changed and just literally hear testimonies from the songs we sing. And for me, that is like the reason why I do what I do. And it's a privilege and a great honor to be able to share the good news of Christ with the entire world through music.
Absolutely, it is. But there's also that conversation of, well, should you really be... Okay, so I'll tell you why I'm saying this. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who happens to also be a gospel artist, and he was basically just saying that when he started doing gospel music, there's that thing of you want to also... make benefits off of it. You want it to be popular. You want people to listen to it, to vibe to it. And sometimes when you don't really get that response, it can be very, very demoralizing. So in terms of the popularity, in terms of everybody talking about you, how do you balance the message with the aim?
Okay, so this is what it is. The truth is, if you're good at what you do, it's natural. People get to talk about it. Same applies to, it could be that you sell a product or you work in an office. If you're good on the job, people will definitely talk about it. It's the ability for you to able to know that, the reason why you do what you do is sharing the good news and create a balance with that and the popularity. So for me, it's knowing that this is why I'm doing this. The reason why I'm doing this is sharing the good news of Christ. So whatever comes with it, I should be able to, and that comes also with time, where you get to know how to manage everything that comes with being in the spotlight. And that's why most times I will say to people, especially upcoming artists, is whilst you're trying to make the music, it's also good to work on your character, work on your personality, because it's more than just singing. It's more than just singing with the gift. People at some point, after you've sang with your gift and people get to love you for your gift, they want to know who you are in terms of your personality. So whilst you're growing the gift, whilst you're making the music, also work on the character. Is the character part of you that helps you when you're now in the spotlight and everybody wants to get to know you. Yeah, basically that's how I've been able to create a balance, and especially being a wife and a mom and doing music and all the works. Yeah.
I love that, Onos. I love that you mentioned that, because some people would say that, well, at the end of the day, should you even be looking for that? Like, do you ever feel some sense of guilt? Like, okay, I'm releasing gospel music because I want to spread, the good news. I want to spread the message of Jesus Christ, like you've just said. So do you feel a little guilty sometimes when there's also that part of, okay, yes, but I am popular, but I mean, people do want to talk to me, but sometimes I do get some attention. Do you feel any kind of guilt at all? Because I know a lot of gospel artists struggle with this, so much so that they tell you, please, I don't want to even pay attention to any of, I just want to release my music and rest, So do you ever feel some type of guilt when that happens?
So I'll say the word is not guilt. For me, the truth is, if you're doing something that puts you in the spotlight, those things are bound to come. I won't say I feel guilty. No, I'll just say that it just only makes me, it makes me a little bit more conscious to know that, beyond the music, beyond the fact that you sing about Jesus, there's a bit of spotlight on you, and the ability to manage it and handle it properly goes a long way. So, like I said, I don't want to use the word guilt. I don't feel guilty. It's the gift. The Bible says the gift of a man, making room for him. So if the gift has made room for me in larger rooms, in bigger stages, in bigger platforms, if the gift has put me in the face of a lot of people around the world, that what I should be praying for grace for is the ability to be able to manage the different levels and stages and dimensions in which the gift is kicking me into. Yeah.
A lot of sense. Now let's talk about your new body of work, Onos. Tell us a little about what it's on about.
So I have my 5th album, New Dimension, is out on all digital platforms. It's a live recorded body of work. So much has gone into it. The songs in the album, basically, they are announcing to everyone who gets to listen to that work that God is doing great things in this season, and whatever He is doing, let your spirit man be sensitive to be able to receive the new things He's doing. So New Dimension speaks of the new, speaks of something fresh. Sometimes, I was in a place where when I started working on this project, I didn't actually know what I was going to call the album, but I noticed that things began to shift for me in terms of me on stage, ministering. The honors I knew when I recorded my 4th album was a lot different here. So I knew deep down within, especially after I recorded the theme song for the album, which is the New Dimension, I knew that God was doing something unique, and God was about to announce to the people through the songs and through the project that, behold, I'm doing a new thing. Be a part of that great thing that He's doing. So the New Dimension project, it's a blend of amazing songs. They're prophecies in songs, prophetic songs that will stir the hearts of as many who gets to, hold that project. Yeah.
I like that you mentioned that, and I also know that oftentimes when you have these type of songs, and with gospel music, I mean, every artist would tell you that when they released a song, they were inspired, to release the song. But I feel with gospel artists, it's even a lot more, it's a little deeper, because maybe there's a particular phase or there's a particular season, like you just mentioned, and in a way to just express yourself as an artist, it comes to you as a song. So when you say New Dimension, for everybody else out there who's watching, they might take it. But for you, Onos, what was it that triggered the release of this new album?
Okay, one thing that triggered it, like I said, when I recorded, so I normally have this monthly Breathe worship sessions. I do it monthly. It's tagged Breathe. I started it. It's close to 4 or 5 years now since I started Breathe. So last year when I did one of the sessions, I got this leading to sort of record the session. So when I recorded that session, I noticed that there are a lot of songs that were birthed in that session that night, and we recorded it live. Normally, I wouldn't actually even record my Breathe sessions, but that night it was so unique. That was the night that the theme song New Dimension was born. Faithful God. There was something very genuine about the atmosphere in the room, and whilst we were singing the songs and just worshiping with the songs with the people in the room that day, I knew that something new has broken forth in my life. I felt a shift in my music. I felt a shift in my ministry. So there and there, I knew that God was directing me differently. So that's why the project is actually, when I say new dimension, I've begun to experience a different dimension of God's favor, God's increase and promotion in my life, in my music. So that is what the project is doing to me personally. I know most of the times as gifted people, when we write the songs, like you said, there's a message, there's something the song is speaking to you. And when you take that message and run with it, whoever gets to listen to that song automatically begins to experience that which you are experiencing. Yeah.
That I actually agree with that. I've had similar experiences listening to songs. Onos, before we wrap this interview up, I have to just bring in the most talked about, I would say, conversation right now, because it's like, I don't think it's gonna die down anytime soon, and I wish the conversation was different, but sadly it isn't. The death of the minister Osinachi has generated a lot of conversation, especially as it pertains to domestic violence, domestic abuse of women suffering this in their homes. Just earlier today, I was speaking with someone who's close to the family, who had actually been paying visits and to really find out what's going on and to discover that it's real. It really happened. This is a woman who endured years of domestic violence in her home, but would come on stage and she will sing ever so gracefully. And for reasons that we've heard, even from her sister, from her mom, she believed that divorce was not something that she wanted to do because God frowns against it. Now, as a gospel artist, you have a new album. It's called New Dimension. It has a strong message, and I'm sure there are women who are also dealing with this, who also have the same beliefs that, oh no, divorce, I can't do it too. What's your message to them?
My message will be, firstly, the truth is, domestic violence in any form, physical, emotional, it's not just about physical, it could be emotional, is a no-no. I said to my son, when my son is 6 years old, I was speaking to him because I realized sometimes this thing starts from the childhood, how the person was brought up. I was saying to my son, never raise your hand. I'm not talking about when you get old, I'm talking about now. How, his sister, oh, she hit me, oh, I have to hit her back. No. So I'm beginning to teach him now so that he doesn't grow up to become a violent man. So for women who probably you find yourself in that situation, it could be emotional, not necessarily physical. You need to pick yourself out and move out first. So because you need to be alive. You can't, so for me, it's wrong to just even say I'm there because of the children. You need to be alive to be able to take care of the children. I'm married with 2 children, right? So you can say because you have to, if you're not alive, you can't take care of the children. Now she's late, she can't take care of those children. So any woman, regardless of your status quo, wherever it is, if you are going through something, like you need to speak up to someone, find someone that you can trust. I've had friends who have had to deal with things like this, and with good counsel, they were able to walk through it. So you should be bold enough to speak to someone about it. Don't just sit there, because it doesn't even tell well for the kids, because the kids are seeing everything. That's what your son or your daughter, your children, that's what they take into their home, because children don't just learn from what we say, they learn from what we do. So my advice to any woman out there, and it's vice versa, not just the woman and not just the woman now, but the guys. You could probably be in a relationship that is very abusive and it's not good for your mental health. It's not making you productive. It does not making you, resourceful in what you do. And if it's not working, then you need to take a bold step and work out of it instead of staying there and dying there. Yeah, that's my advice.
Thank you so much for that, Onos. And that's how we'll be wrapping this up. Congratulations on your brand new body of work. And of course, I encourage everyone watching to go stream that album, New Dimension.